Hello and welcome to the AIDEM Interactions. On the eve of Easter, the AIDEM Interactions is going to Manipur because Manipur has had very sensational, controversial developments on the eve of Easter, on the eve of Good Friday. So this context, in the context of this, the Manipur governor had initially cancelled the holidays, and even Saturday and Sunday was cancelled, and saying that that there is important government work to be finished, and she had cancelled the holidays, and then finally there was a lot of public pressure against this, and then the government was forced to withdraw the cancellation. But in the context, I mean, on the eve of Easter, we would like to look at this situation with people who are very actively working on the ground in Manipur on humanitarian issues, on giving aid to people in relief camps, and who are also social activists who are very active in Manipur. So we have with us Reverend Lamboi, who is even now as we speaking, he's traveling from one relief camp to another, giving medical attention to people who have been victims of the Manipur violence, which has been a long-standing story in the state now. And we also have Karang Maram, who is part of the Manipur Baptist Convention, and he's part of the Peace and Development Committee of the Manipur Baptist Convention, which of course is very evident. The peace and development are very important issues in Manipur at this point of time. And we also have social activist Hejang Misao with us to discuss the situation. So I'll start with Reverend Lamboi because he has since he's traveling in the field, he has to move from one place to another. So Reverend Lamboi, what is the situation now? The government has withdrawn the order, but what is the situation? Can you tell us what is happening in Manipur at this point of time?
Thank you for the opportunity to share. Yeah, the situation, we're grateful to the government at last for canceling the order that they have issued first, and then allowing us to have the Easter as usual tomorrow. I'm saying it's good because see, Easter, Good Friday, Easter, Christmas, these are part of our lives for the tribal people, tribal communities in Northeast, for that matter, for all of us in India, because it's not that it's merely a culture or the tradition, but what is important is what we do on Easter, or what we say on Easter Sunday. See, Easter for us is about forgiveness. For us is about, Easter is about forgiveness, peace, justice, coexistence, and peace and hope for us. It is important because in the context of this 11 months of violence, non-stop violence, there's a lot of people who are depressed, a lot of people who are in a situation where they have nowhere to turn to. So they're looking for Easter, looking for Good Friday, Easter, because of the message that they are waiting to hear. It is about love, it's about peace, it's about forgiveness, and it's about caring for one another, because Easter is about God's love for human beings and overcoming all sin and evils in the world. It is about spreading peace and reconciliation. So it is all the more important for us, for the cookies, but in particular in Manipur, to have Easter. So we're grateful that the first order has been cancelled or modified, but at the same time, it also gives us idea that the foundation of India is somewhat shaky in a way that people are not really, um, um, you know, that still make people anxious about the future. Of course, now this has been modified, but we really don't know what will happen in future unless we protect our constitution and accept every culture, religion, and faith and all that. So I think the basic problem is accepting, respecting one another, and allowing people to contribute for the betterment
Absolutely,
of the.
absolutely. Yeah. I think, you know, I think the governor when she ordered the cancellation of the holidays, saying that the government is hard pressed and the work has to be finished. This understanding that, you know, of love, peace, and forgiveness and compassion was kind of missing from the governor's order. But I would like to get the perception of because, you know, Mr. Maram, who is with us, Karang Maram, he ethnically belongs to the Naga community, and of course, you know, though he's part of the Manipur Baptist Convention. So, Mr. Maram, can you give me the perspective from your community side?
As like Dr. Lamboi has said, I have not met him. I have not, I don't know him, but like us, he has said, Nagas and Kukis are more or less we are Christian dominated community, and we settle in the hills, and then this has really affected our sentiment. So Manipur Baptist Convention as one of the largest faith-based organization in Manipur. So we were just putting pressure, and then we submitted our appeal letter to governor and then to the chief minister. Many organizations from Naga community, so they put up, but none of them they got the receipt number. But they don't get the receipt number. But us, we had an emergency meeting. Though I'm out of station, we were on phone call and all these things. I was in contact. I was in connect with my colleagues. So we gave this letter. We put up an appeal letter to the governor and then to the chief minister, and so we got the receipt number, and that's how at least the governor or the government also they accepted our letter, and then maybe that is the reason they have withdrawn it, or they might have changed their things, their order. Otherwise, many organizations they put up, but they are just writing on the letterhead, and then they are putting up on the just WhatsApp or social media, but it was not reaching to them in hard copy. And then I don't know whether the concerned governor or the chief minister is really aware of that or not. But as Manipur Baptist Convention, the convention belongs to Kuki, the convention belongs to Naga, Meitei, and Nepalese, all the Christians in Manipur, all the
Right.
Baptist communities. So on behalf of all these communities, we put up our general secretary, he signed it, and then he put up, and then they received, and then we got the receipt number, and then thereafter we also got the order that it was already withdrawn on the working day on Sunday. It has really hurt our sentiment because we all were preparing to go to the tribal churches to go and preach on Good Friday, to have fasting program on Good Friday, and then even to have a baptism and then Holy Communion on Easter. So we all were engaged in activities. But since this came up, we it hurts our sentiment as well as our activities. So we just put up, and then that is how that's been. Not it is only the Baptist, but even the Catholic. As far as I know, from my own district where I belong, from Senapati district, even the Roman Catholic organization that is from Maram Catholic associations, they all put up but I think none of them got the receipt
All
number
Christian
from
organizations are upset with this decision.
yes. All the Christians are upset. Yes, their
Mr.
sentiments were
Masai,
hurt.
Hejang Masai, you're a social activist, and of course, you know, you take up these issues on a regular basis. Government has issued the order, cancelled the holidays first, and then now they are withdrawn. But what is the sentiment on the ground? What is the sentiment among the community and among the larger sections of Manipuri people?
First of all, thank you for hosting this discussion, which is the need of the hour. I would right away say that government is telling the world the total collapse of governance in Manipur. The second thing, they also tell the world their ineffectiveness in service delivery. At the same time, they fail to achieve certain deliverables for which their incapacity to deal with the situation and the governance led to the notification saying that even the Good Friday and Easter Sunday should be working day. So if the government made an effective governance system, I don't think such step will be taken by the government. At the same time, this attempt of the government also speaks volume that they fail to understand the sentiment of the people of Manipur in general and the Christian community in particular, because the 90% of the land of Manipur is occupied by the Christian community, both Nagas and Kukis. Yeah. At the same time, certain pockets of valley areas, there are numbers of Meitei Christians. Now, when you are targeting certain holidays, which has been celebrated since independence, you are also undermining the Indian Constitution, which speaks about secularism and religious freedoms. Now, when you are particularly targeting this particular community, especially the Christian community, you are not targeting the Christian community only in Manipur, you are also targeting the Christian community in India, because the pain has been felt not by the Christian community in Manipur, but also the Christian community in the other part of India. Now, when we are saying this, we are not against any government, but any government who is insensitive to the religious sentiment of the people, I think they have to do some homework, because now the very fabric of the Indian society is unity in diversity. So when you respect one's religious freedom, you are also respecting your constitution. Now, our Indian constitution clearly laid down in the preamble secularism, which is inalienable as part of Indian citizen, and at the same time, the religious freedom provided by the Indian constitution. When you disrespect all these things, what is the point of calling yourself government when you fail to understand the constitution? When you don't respect the constitution, what is the point of calling you as a democratic government?
Yeah.
I mean, if you call yourself as democratic government, then you have the very right to respect the constitution of India. And when you are doing that, you are also respecting every citizen, where India is like a garden where you have numbers of flowers beautifully blooming. That makes India beautiful. Now, when you are challenging all this, I think you are challenging the constitution of India. So therefore,
Mr. Misao,
what I'm saying is,
and I may ask one question. I mean, that question is to all of you. You were saying that that when you kind of impose something like this on the Christians of Manipur, it's not as though you are kind of hurting only the Christians of Manipur, but you are hurting Christians across the country, and you are also hurting Christian sentiments across the world. Even, in fact, people who come to know about it. Yeah. But is there a possibility that we all know that the current government at the center and Manipur, they are trying to pursue a particular form of sectarian politics, which is Hindutva. So, and now that the elections are also coming, the Lok Sabha elections are also coming in the near future. Do you think this is a suspicion among the people that this could be a kind of ploy to kind of enhance or aggravate the Hindutva sentiment in other parts of India? This question is to all of you, but we can start with Mr. Misao. Do you think that there is a game plan like that, to kind of aggravate the Hindutva sentiment in other parts of India?
The hidden agenda, I'm not very sure, to be honest, but the way how the government targeted a particular sect of community who follows a certain religious faith, I think when you are not respecting the diversity and when you are not respecting the constitution, I think in one way there's always the possibility of interpreting your steps taken as challenging the constitution, at the same time trying to impose your faith on other communities. Yeah. So if you do show that Indian constitution is at high stake and it is in danger, and every Indian citizen must come forward to save democracy in India.
Reverend Lamboi, your take on this aspect that I have raised, that could this be a political ploy to kind of aggravate Hindutva sentiment in other parts of India?
I think there is a misconception in the minds of some people in India that the tribal peoples should leave their faith and culture and merge into, majority culture and religion. But I think that is misconception, because my town where I am just now, it's called Churachandpur. Locally, we call it Lamka. This town has produced the maximum number of civil servants, IS officers.
What is the name of the town? Can you repeat the name of the town, please? What is the name of the town?
Locally, we call it Lamka,
okay,
or Churachandpur. Yeah.
Okay.
So this is a very small town, tribal, Kuki-dominated town. But this town has produced maximum first-class officers, civil servants, IS officers, IPS officers, and even a few of them are the ambassadors in just now also from this town. It is because of Christianity. Christian faith has liberated people from all aspects, and so it is a Christian faith that helps and enables people to contribute to India as we do today. So I think that has to be recognized. There has to be recognized and accepted the fact that we are able to contribute to Indian national building because of Christianity. That's very important. And besides, we have our own tradition or culture, or worldview, and which is very important again. We were never under caste system, because tribal people, we don't have caste system. Therefore, if you say Hinduism, for that matter, caste system and religion is two sides of the same coin, then we cannot call ourselves as Hindus, because we never have caste system. But we have a system that accepts everyone, regards everyone. Therefore, the tribal people, we have never had this Hindu caste system experience, because this is what makes people to contribute to India better. Without this, people will not be able to contribute to the well-being of India. Therefore, India has to accept the fact that people are able to contribute to India because of their faith and the culture. That has to be considered as a part of India, or has to be, equally a part of Indian culture and people.
Mr.
Sorry, I need to go because I have to go to
can you
another
please add
platform.
to what? Can you please kind of take this argument, look at this argument that Reverend Lamboi is making? How do you respond to that?
Like Kuki and Naga, more or less we are all the same. So we don't have a caste system in our community. In Naga, we don't have a caste system, and so like what Lamboi has said, that has been more or less the same, even from Naga perspective also. So if like they said, if they are to impose, then that is really, it is hurting our sentiment. And being a Christian, and that is what we really don't like it, and we don't want things to impose on us, which is affecting our faith, and then which is affecting our religion and all these things. That is what we don't like it. So that is what I just want to say. And honestly speaking, I said I'm not mentally prepared, and I don't know what is, and
Right,
because you said Hejang just introduced me, so
right. That's fine.
that's all. Yes.
Hejang Misao, you are talking about the importance of the constitution and how it is being violated. But if you look at Manipur's the life of people in Manipur over the last 11 months to 1 year, it has been very torturous. And right from the beginning, one could see that that there has been a great disintegration of the constitutional apparatus. So where do you go from here? What do you think is the future for the people of Manipur?
In line with the point of discussion, I would say I belong to Christian community, but I never regard myself as higher than the other religious faith. As much as I respect Christianity, I also respect Hinduism, Muslim, Jainism, Buddhism. Every religion I equally respect, because every religion in one form or the other speaks about one good things, and that is something which I hold dear about religious faith in India, and this needs to be respected. And when you respect every religion, that's the very beauty part of India. So coming to the question that you raised, I would say, had we had able leaders, statesmanship, who are or who is sensitive to the feeling of the people here in Manipur, because in Manipur we have three major communities: Meitei, Kuki, and Nagas, and there are also some pocket of Meitei Pangal that we call them Muslims. So the highly polarized state, we are such a small state, but it's highly polarized state. So it was all because of the failure of the leaders to understand the polarization based on community line. That's why the Manipur is burning till today. And it is also because of the failure to respect the history, who are what they do as part of the states or Indian independence is something which we fail to see, for which this kind of violence, this kind of division, this kind of separation is taking place right now in Manipur. Now, when you ask me what is the way forward, now the separation is deep, very deep, and it has reached to the level of no point of returns, because we are physically separated, emotionally separated, and we are also demographically separated. And there's a buffer zone where the Meitei people cannot cross over the buffer zone, and we cannot cross over the buffer zone. And the central security forces are manning the buffer zone. So, which means, and last time, even the chief minister clearly, in his press meets, clearly stated that he will be responsible for the governance in the Imphal Valley, whereas the home minister will be responsible for the governance in the hills. Now, taking into account all this reality, one of the best way forward is the central government, with strong political will, should come up with political solution through political process.
There's been a demand made by various people in Manipur, including the famous boxer who recently won a match, and he was crying and asking Prime Minister Modi to come to Manipur and kind of initiate or take forward the peace initiatives. What do you think about something like that? Will the visit by the Prime Minister help in Manipur?
Yeah, I would say I would strongly put up this message and let it go across the entire nation. Manipur is an integral part of India. It is an integral part of India, and we are the citizens of India. And if anything happens to any citizen, I think that should be taken seriously by the Prime Minister, for which there should be some redressal mechanism. Now, in spite of the states bleeding more than 10 months, it is very unfortunate that the Prime Minister of India, whom the entire nation is looking up upon him, and even the world is looking upon him, is not even bothering to visit Manipur and at least bring some kind of relief to the pain of these people. Aren't these people citizens of India? These are the people who fought for India's independence. Today, they are not just part of India, they are also the blood of these people from Manipur are Indian. So as Swaras Bar Gangadhar Tilak said, Swaras is my birthright. The same way, being an Indian, Swaras is our birthright because our blood is Indian. Now, if anything happens to Arunachal Pradesh, because the Chinese always had an attempt to take certain part of Arunachal Pradesh, and India is always on high alert when even a small inch of our territory is, attempted by the Chinese to take over. Now, what I'm saying, not only the territory of Manipur is India, the people of India, the people of Manipur are Indian, for which this is my humble request to the Prime Minister of India, at least feel the pain of the people of Manipur who are citizens of India.
Thank
and
you.
if you don't care the suffering of these people of Manipur who are citizens of India, you don't care your country and your nation.
Thank you, Mr. Hejang Misao. That's a very strong message that has come from you, and of course, both the Reverend and as well as Mr. Karang. I think they have some connectivity issues and kind of lack of preparation issues. But you have given a very strong message, and in the context of the initial cancellation of the holidays for Good Friday and Easter, and then withdrawing it later under pressure. There is a sense that the government of Manipur, including the governor of Manipur, is not really following the path of constitution or the path of peace and love and rapprochement. You have given a strong message, and you are saying that that the central government and the Prime Minister himself has to take the lead in building up peace and building trust between communities. Let's hope that it happens. Anyways, the AIDEM will continue to come back to Manipur and keep the conversation going. We will be highlighting your issues from time to time. Thank you very much for joining in this discussion. We'll come back for another discussion. We'll look at Manipur and related issues in the days to come. Thank you very much.